Hi Marcel, how are you doing today?
Good, I've been okay.
How was your week so far?
Yeah, it was actually really nice. It was really sunny out and stuff, so I was able to get out a lot. There was this one park, and I always go hiking there and stuff, and I was able to feed the chickadees and stuff, so it was actually really nice.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things to do.
What park is it?
I think it's called Bronte.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in the Toronto area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, downtown
Yeah.
area.
That's good. So how are things going with you with employment?
Yeah, everything's still the same. I've been looking and stuff, but I'm not really getting a lot of luck with it. I have been trying a lot. I've been talking to a lot of people and just trying to get my resume out. But they're just, I don't know, they're not wanting me, I guess.
Yeah. So you've been applying to quite a few places though, right?
Yeah. It just gets crappy after a while because everyone just says no.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't even want to keep trying anymore because it's it's just going to be another no. You know what I mean? So it's I feel there's not even a point sometimes.
How many places would you roughly say that you've applied so far?
Probably 8.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that. I applied to maybe it's just been in this past week that I've applied to a lot of places and I spent a lot of time on it. But yeah, I did 2 per day or something. I want to go do some other places too. It's just whatever I can find. But I haven't really done luck with it.
That's pretty good. Hopefully you have better luck soon though. Have you tried any agencies, employment agencies at all yet?
I haven't tried any, but I heard that there's some. I think, but I don't really know how it works.
Oh well, I can tell you how it works. Okay. So basically, how a employment agency works is still recording.
Is it working? Yeah.
Is there a green light?
Huh?
Is there a green light?
Yeah.
It's the recording.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry, Nicole.
Sorry.
So basically, how a employment center works is you basically go in there and you sit down with a person at the desk. I don't know what they're called.
Receptionist.
And what?
Receptionist.
A receptionist. And you basically sit down with them and you discuss what kind of employment you want, whether you want to work in a factory, a store. I know with a lot of agencies, they kind of base it on factories. So there's actually a few agencies in Toronto, but the best top 2 is Apple One Agency and the Agency Employment Center.
Are those near where I live?
Oh yes, they have them. They have multiple locations in Toronto. They're actually over the entire GTA. They're usually always in very common plazas, by grocery stores.
So I'll be able to see it. There'll be a big sign.
Oh yes, for sure. At the end of our session, I'll actually give you both addresses, so you can kind of go to them and hand in your resume, and then usually you kind of get a job as soon as you get there. So it's much easier than going out and applying.
Oh, okay. Because I've been literally going to door to door,
yeah,
and talking to people, and a lot of them are just they don't want anything to do with me.
Yeah.
So I'm okay, and especially because I don't have an education, right? And that's what a lot of places, one of the things they're looking for.
Yeah.
So I'm I have nothing to offer towards education, and that's what they're turning me down for.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. Cool. Is it so do I talk to them and I just tell them what I want, what my interests are, kind of?
Yeah, you basically tell them what you want, and they kind of do an interview with you, and a lot of the times, it's not a really difficult interview. It's kind of just common questions.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time they do hire you on spot, and then say if you get hired today, you literally start work tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's so cool.
It's pretty instant, and it's probably the best possibility way to get a job.
Okay.
So you should really look into that.
Yeah, I'll do it soon when I go home.
Yeah, because you really having a job is a really good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying, and if an opportunity comes up, like you're saying, that'd be so good for me because I can actually start working, and I can actually start paying for stuff and paying for myself and actually having a good life.
Yeah, exactly. How are you finding, how are you with living on the streets right now? What's your situation?
Yeah, so there are times where, I'll be staying, on the street or whatever, or, finding like bus shelters, basically anywhere I can stay and just like lay down, right? But I do have some friends in my LGBT community. I don't know them like too well, but they are kind of, they're the closest things I got to like friends, right? So I've been staying with them a few times, but it's not just like one person constantly. It's like I'll stay at one person's house like 2 nights, or I'll stay at another person's house 2 nights, and I'll just kind of stay like on the streets like in between, because I don't want to be a hassle to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even though like I do need help, like I'm just not one to like, I don't know. I don't want to make them feel guilty or whatever if they say no or whatever, and I just feel like I'm like a burden. So I try to stay away from them as much as I can.
Well, I'm sure you're not a burden, because, I mean, if they offer you a place to stay, I mean, they do care, right? If they're offering you to stay inside their house for, like, a night or 2 nights or whatnot.
Yeah. Like, they're really nice people, and, like, if, like, they were in my position, like, I would offer it to them.
Yeah.
Because, like, they have been, like, helping me through a lot and stuff, but, yeah, no.
Yeah, for sure. How long, again, have you been on the streets for?
It's been a while. Like, ever since I got kicked out.
Yeah.
When I was, like 13 or 14. Like, I was 14 years old. So I've just been living with some people and stuff, but other times I'll be, like, on the street and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been, like, a really long time. And I just need to, like, try to get out of this situation. Just, like, make a better living and be able to, like, fend for myself. You know, instead of relying on other people. Yeah.
And why do you think that you're, like, in this type of situation? Like, why do you think that you're kind of almost stuck on the streets and you can't really expand and get yourself a home?
I don't know. Like, I've been like this for so long, right? And it's like I keep trying, but I feel like I'm not motivated enough to do something about it, you know? It's just, like, what I've always been used to. So I'm just having difficulty, like, yeah, I want to get out, and I want to have a house, and find a job, have a house, but I think it's just been, like, it's always been this way, so I'm just kind of used to it, I guess.
Well, I remember you saying a few sessions ago that, like, a lot of the money that you make on the street, you always usually don't really spend it on food, you spend it on drugs, right?
Yeah, that's another reason.
So, I mean, how do you think that you can manage yourself, like, in between, like, getting your needs, which is food, obviously, because you need food to survive, right? Versus, like, kind of pushing out the drugs.
Maybe I can, like, do half of it for drugs and half of it for, like, food. Well, the thing is, like, I always feel like, you know how, like, food is, like, a necessity for some people, right? Most people. I feel like drugs is, like, it's really bad, but, like, I feel like that's what it is for me, because it's like that's all you've been used to. It's just drugs, and like they've helped me through a lot. So I feel like it's like the same, kind of like the same thing. Like food is something that people need, like other need, but like drugs is like what I need. But like I do see where you're coming from, and like I know I shouldn't be spending it on that, but it's like I physically like can't. Like I feel like I need to do it.
Well, I mean, it's understandable if you've been doing it for so long, right?
Yeah. It's like my go-to thing to like make me feel better. I mean, some people eat chocolate or whatever, ice cream to make me feel better, but for me, it's like that.
What do you think pushed you into doing drugs, if you don't mind me asking? Am I allowed to say that? Okay.
Or how? Or
like, if you don't mind me asking, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay.
And you can also say, like, if you want to say another way, you can be like, is doing drugs a coping mechanism? What are you coping with?
Okay. Yeah, so what do you think turned you to drugs?
I think I just felt like I needed something to, like, give me, like, a boost. And there was nothing else happening in my life, like, nothing good. And then I got introduced to it by the people I used to stay with after I got kicked out. They used to do drugs a lot. So when they were just like, oh, do you want to try it? I'm like, there's little me, like, you know what I mean? They were such, like, a bigger person, and I felt like it was so, like, small compared to them. So I was just like, oh, okay, I'll listen to you or whatever. So I tried it, and then I kept trying it, and then I was like, you know what, this is making me feel a little bit less like crap.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like giving me like a boost of energy and like feeling something different.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of why. And just like there was so much negative going on in my life, even though like I was glad to have a place to live, it was still like the situation still wasn't the best. You know what I mean? Because I had to like do certain things to be able to stay there, and I had to go through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I had like a roof over my head, like it was still a lot of things that were negative. You know what I mean? That weren't the best.
Yeah.
For me. So that was kind of like it was kind of like my coping method, just being able to like distract myself from everything, and I just kind of went into like my zone, in like my own little world, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just tried that, and ever since, it's always been my coping method.
Yeah. So what you're saying is basically you do drugs kind of like when you're extremely down, just to make you kind of feel better.
Yeah, like, and there's been so many times, like even now, like I'm always like a down person. If that makes sense. Like I just always kind of feel there's no hope for me, because like I've tried so hard and I've just been through like so much. So I just kind of do it when I'm stressed, or do it when I feel like there's nothing like left for me, or I just do it like now. It's got to the point, or a while ago, it's got to the point where I do it just even if I'm like feeling okay.
Do you feel like there's anything that you can replace drugs with to make you still get that kind of like hyped up emotion, like whether it's singing, like, you know, any activity like playing baseball kind of thing?
Yeah, I remember like when I was really young, like when I still lived with my parents, like I used to do sports a lot, but I haven't like tried them since or whatever, and like I don't have the necessities and like the resources to go and play. You know what I mean? Like I can't go buy like $50 bat and just like play by myself. You know what I mean? Or like I can't. Like I used to really like sports a lot, and that was kind of like my coping method back then, because my life at home, like before, was like not the best. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have the best parents. Like I was like telling you in sessions before, my parents just like didn't treat us well at all, and I just needed something to distract me. So baseball was always that. I used to play with my sister before, but now I haven't played in so long. It's just gonna be so weird, and like even if I do that stuff, no, I didn't used to sing or anything like that. I enjoy listening to music.
Would you be interested in like going to a community center to do like softball, baseball, basketball kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like all kinds of sports.
Yeah.
So, but baseball was like my main thing.
Yeah.
What I love the most.
What position do you like to play?
I was second base.
Very nice.
Sometimes I'll go to like bars and stuff, and like the baseball game will be on, and I'll sit there for like hours and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite baseball team?
Blue Jays. Of course, because I live in Toronto.
Yeah. That's everybody's favorite team.
Mm-hmm.
I want to touch back on your parents. For your early childhood, I know that we discussed that you experienced a lot of physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. Do you want to kind of discuss on how like that impacted you over the years? And
yeah, like it was a rough childhood because of that. And it didn't stop. It stopped because my dad passed away when he was 37.
Yeah.
And it's like that definitely took a toll on like me and like my family and stuff, and like the situation just kind of got worse because my dad was gone and it was only like my mom, you know. So yeah, the situation definitely got worse, and like the abuse and stuff, it stopped with like my parents, like once I got kicked out, but like it still continued after that.
So it was really hard for your family when your father passed away?
Yeah.
Do you think it took like a huge toll on your mother?
Yeah. Like he passed away after I left, right? Because he kicked me out, and then like a few years later, he passed away, and like I actually heard about it because I didn't have any contact with my mom. I heard that. I kind of talked to my sister, but like I haven't talked to my sister in like years. Every once in a while, but not really. I actually heard about it on like the news, so I can just imagine how brutal it must have been at the house.
Yeah. After you were kicked out, did you like have any contact with any of your family members? Your mom, your dad, your sister?
My parents, no, I didn't have any contact with them. To be honest, like, why would I still want to talk to them? You know what I mean? Like, my father kicked me out because he suspected that I was gay.
Yeah.
When he had no, like, actual proof. And even though you tell them, like, you think that your parents are going to listen to you because they're your parents and they should trust you. But, no, I told them that I wasn't. I didn't want to get kicked out. I mean, for, like, stupid reason like that if it was true. So I was just like, no, like, I'm not going to go back and talk to them. I don't even know where my mom is now, but she was not nice to us. At all. So I'm like, why would I want to keep contact with that? Why would I want to have that person still in my life? So my dad passed away, and I haven't talked to my mom. My sister, her name is Rebecca. We were really close in age. Like, so we were close when we were younger. Like I said, like we play baseball together and stuff. But I'm not like really close to her now. When I first got kicked out, like I'd see her like every now and then, but she knows like what I've been doing. You know what I mean? She knows that I'm unemployed. She knows I'm living on the street. The kind of people like I've been, like living with people and like doing what I need to do to survive. And she's not for that. She thinks it's disgusting. But if she were in my position, she'd understand. And like the whole. Yeah, just everything, like, I don't know. Sometimes I miss her, but...
Yeah. Would you ever try and reconnect with your sister?
Yeah, I think she's still living in Toronto. I think most of my family, I'm guessing they are.
Yeah.
Like, it would make sense if they left. But, I would. I think if I don't think right now.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe when I'm, like, you're saying about, like, finding employment and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe when I do that and like I'm actually like good on my feet.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it, but not now. Cause she's just gonna be even more disappointed in me.
Yeah. So what you're saying is basically when you become stable, you want to kind of reach out to your sister and build that relationship, and
Yeah, just like rebuild it.
Yeah.
It was there when you're younger, and then over the years, it just kind of got worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe if she sees that I'm doing better, she'll want to be in my life.
That'd be really good. Based off of what you were saying, who do you go to for like support? Like, who's your support group?
Probably like the LGBT community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty much there for me and stuff, and I know I can talk to them about everything. So I'll talk to them and stuff if I have something on my mind, and they actually help me like when I went around giving like resumes. One of the guys that came with me.
Yeah.
So.
That's very good.
Yeah, I know. I can, like, count on them.
How often do you meet with the LGBT community a week?
Once a week.
Once a week?
Yeah. But, I mean, like, if I stay with them, then I'll see them longer.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, other days. But, like, everyone, like, the whole group, it's, like, once a week.
Yeah. Do you hang out with, a lot of, like, your friends in your group, like, outside of the group?
Not really. But I think it'd be, like, a good idea to do that.
Yeah.
I'll mention it, like, next time. We have our next meeting on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Because that might be beneficial for you, kind of, like, to have more support outside of just the LGBT community. Mm-hmm. Like, building, like, a relationship with, like, friends, like, knowing that they'll always kind of be there for you. It might be, like, really helpful to you because... as to what you're saying, I feel like you don't have enough support and guidance for you. Yeah. And I feel like if you kind of, like, not really attach yourself to a group of people, but kind of just, like, look at them for guidance and support. And that way, like, you'll always have somebody to talk to, like, when you're in, like, need of just opening up kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because that's true. Like, the meetings are always just, like, an hour, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, like, an hour that I'm able to hang out with them. But like sometimes they'll like talk afterwards, but then like everyone has to go, and I'm just like, okay, have fun living your life.
Yeah.
And I'll just like be here doing nothing.
Yeah. Well, at least you have some sort of like group to go to once a week, kind of thing, just to look forward to.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it could be kind of lonely, like kind of like just staying on the streets by yourself.
Yeah, that's why I love. Like, I'll never like tell them this or whatever, but like I love like being with them and stuff,
Yeah,
and I love
for sure.
like staying there. Not because, well, partially because like I have actually somewhere to stay, but like everyone's just really nice. You know what I mean? It's good, and it feels like a family, even though I'm not like super attached.
5 minutes.
We have 5 minutes left.
For you.
For you, and then, I don't know.
What do you mean? That's 25 minutes?
Yeah, it's been 25, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, remember last week you told me to look into like a shelter for you? I actually did find one specifically for you, and I'm actually going to enroll you in that. So it's called Convenient House in Toronto. So it is a homeless youth shelter, and they offer like a whole bunch of different programs. So there's prevention programs, there's crisis care, support, independence. So on independence, they offer a long-term care like residence, so you can actually stay there for long term until you're perfectly on your feet. They offer help with employment services and also like life skills. So they kind of teach you like about different cultures. They can teach you how to cook. So they'll prepare you to get ready to live on your own. And
that's so cool.
they also offer kind of like it's like government housing kind of thing in a way. If you kind of graduate like a program, they'll offer government housing to you.
What's it called, you say?
It's Convenient House Toronto.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to refer you to them.
Okay.
And I'll let you know next week if you have been approved. But unfortunately, this is the end of our session today. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you next week. It was a pleasure meeting with you again today. And I hope that you find all your right things in life.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
See you next week.
Are you sure that was 30 minutes?
Yeah. Is this the one?
Yeah.
This is worrying me. Okay.
Still on.
You didn't do that. I know. Okay, I'll do it.
1 week later.
Hi. How was your week?
Good. It was okay. I kind of looked around for like other places and stuff, and I went to the what's it called, the employment agency they were telling me about.
Yeah.
And I did get an interview for that, but they said they need to. I went like yesterday, so they said they just need to like consult it and stuff, and then they'll let me know. So
That's great.
Yeah. And they're actually really really nice and very like helpful and stuff, and I didn't feel like they were like judging me or whatever for like because I was worried because I don't have education, right? But they were very like understanding about everything.
And did they give you any timeline that you should go back and further?
Yeah, I'm gonna go after this our session. I'm just go
Okay.
see like if they made any decisions.
That's great.
Yeah.
So from our last session, I remember you talked about your relationship with your sister, and I was just wondering if you could describe what you would call that relationship. Like, how strong would you say it is? Is it like really strong? Is it?
Yeah, like I said like last time, we weren't really like I haven't talked to her for like a pretty long time. Just because I don't want her to see me like this or whatever. So
So
But
would
yeah,
you say
hopefully
it's like
once I
strong or fair or weak?
yeah, it's pretty fair. Like we're kind of like in the middle right now.
And how would you describe fair for yourself?
Just like we're not super distant because like I did talk to her like a few years ago and I kind of know what's going on with her life. But probably since then a lot has changed. So we don't like hate each other or anything like that. But I just think that the timing's wrong.
You haven't talked to her recently though?
No, I haven't talked to her recently.
Do you
Like years ago.
still have her in contact? Like her phone number or?
Yeah, I could unless it's changed.
Yeah.
But I could probably like figure that out if I call and it's somebody else. You know, people who lived here before.
Yeah.
Where she's now.
Well, it's good that you have a somewhat relationship with your sister because it's good to have family support.
Yeah, once I'm like back on my feet and I'm starting to get there, like I'm taking the steps to get there through you and helping me with that. So I'll just call her up and be like, I'm doing good.
And
And just catch up.
how did your sister react when you were kicked out of your house at the age of 14?
So we saw each other a bit like after that. And she was pretty upset because she knew like that what my father was saying wasn't true and stuff. Because we were pretty close before. And she didn't really like my father. Like both of us didn't have a good relationship with them just because they were so like abusive towards us.
Yeah.
And just kind of like rough or whatever. So she was pretty upset about it. But yeah, we talked about it after for a bit. Like she came to visit me, or I'd like go visit her at school and stuff like that. But yeah.
So when you were being kicked out, did your sister react in any type of way? Like, did she say anything to your parents, or was she kind of like?
She
more
told me that
off to
she
the
kind of
side?
like she did like bring it up to my parents. How she was like really upset about it. To my dad, she kind of like gave him crap about it. Obviously she was upset. Like obviously she knew that I was upset too. So and I couldn't do anything for myself. So she was kind of just like defending me and being like, "Why would you kick him out? Like he did nothing wrong." And like just because you suspect something, like even if it was true, like and I told him like 100 times, I was like, I'm okay, whatever. But he just suspected it. So she kind of defended me on that because she like stood up to him, and then she would get more and more hurt because my dad wouldn't take it, and he didn't want someone talking to him like that. So yeah, eventually it just like it got really bad. So eventually I just told her to stop. Like even though I know she was looking out for me, I just didn't want to put my sister through that. You know what I mean?
Was she getting abused herself?
Yeah. So
For
when
saying
she
that?
would, because she would stand up to my father. So
Was your
I
mother
just-
trying to intervene?
they were
with any of
both.
that?
So it was like her against like them.
Oh, okay.
My mom would like do stuff to her too,
Oh.
but it wouldn't be as like bad. My mom was more like emotionally and like physically abusive. And my dad, he'd be physically, but he'd also be like sexually abusive too. So I just didn't want her to go through that. Like I know how hard it was, and I know how long.
Yeah. So both
going
you
through
and your sister were being emotionally, physically, and sexually abused by your parents. And even when you left the house, your sister was still getting that treatment.
Yep.
And did
Eventually, like it was just like they just first they just did it like just for fun or whatever. But like the more she like talked to him and the more she like got upset with him, then it would just be more constant, right? So I was just like try to avoid it as much as possible. That way you don't get even more hurt.
Would you say, like, would the abuse of your parents have anything to do with the career path you chose after you got kicked out of the house?
Yeah, so like after I got kicked out of the house, I just wanted to, I didn't want to die. Obviously, I wanted to have like some shelter and stuff like that. And I was just so used to getting like abused before, like physically and like sexually, that I was just like, well, it's not going to be any different. So that's why it started happening with like, I started staying with like older men, and the same thing would be happening. But I was just used to it, and I knew I had to do that to be able to survive. I was 14 years old. I was just a teen. I just started being a teenager, and like obviously I don't want to be on the streets, so I just needed to do
And
what I needed to do.
you started using drugs after you got kicked out of the house, right? And
Yeah. So like the people I was staying with, they were. I wouldn't say force me.
they were providing you with the.
Yeah, like they would. Okay, well, one of them would be like, if you don't do this or that or whatever, whether it be like sexual things or, well, all of them would be like that. But I mean, there was one guy, and he would be like, you need to try this drug, you need to try this, or else like you're not staying here anymore. So I just tried it, and then ever since then, I've just been like, it's like a need that I have.
And any of these interactions you have with these elder men, were they ever abusive, or did they do anything that
Yeah,
was
they
out
were
of
like
line?
sexually abusive, and they were also like physically and like mentally as well. But like I said, like I've always been used to it.
So you didn't mind it, or did you just
Well,
just let
obviously I
happen?
minded it, but
Yeah.
I needed somewhere to stay. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't go home, even though most teenagers should be staying at home with their parents. So I just kind of endured it. Obviously, it's not something that I'm proud about or something I was happy to do, but I felt like I needed to.
And I remember you mentioned last week how your parents were addicted to drugs
Mm-hmm.
when the abuse started.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think their addiction had anything to do with maybe having you start using?
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that, but because I was in an environment that I was always being, there was like drugs everywhere, right? And that was partially the reason, I think, hopefully, why they were so abusive towards me and my sister. I hope it wasn't just because, like, just for fun or just because I wanted to. I think the drugs definitely took a toll on them and made them act out and just act in ways that they shouldn't have. But yeah, so drugs were used like in my house, and then when I went to stay with like older men, they would be using too. So it wasn't that much different. And I guess my parents influenced me because that's always what I grew up around.
Would you ever be under the influence yourself when you would be with those elder men, or would you be
Mhm.
sober?
Yeah, I usually was. It was like a whole house, or like everyone in the house would be like all drug addicts.
And did you ever have were they ever maybe trying to get you really wasted or drunk?
So they could like do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
a lot of it, I was so heavily influenced
Mhm.
that like I don't remember. And I just wake up and there'd be like marks on my body or like signs that I was like inappropriately touched or like physically abused, right? And then it just like kept going on.
You didn't see any professional help for that?
No, I didn't. I knew that like if they knew that I was going to see someone, then I would definitely not be living there no more.
Yeah, for your own safety, you decided to. That it's better to not.
Mm-hmm.
I have this eco map, and basically an eco map is when you put down things in your life, and there's like circles here, and your name is in the middle, and I already wrote your name, and so in each circle you would write down things in your life that maybe gives you energy or takes your energy away from you, so they may be causing you distress and making you anxious, or things that maybe help you with your life, like support groups or anything like family, the LGBTQ community, and then you just put down the name of that thing that helps you get the energy or maybe takes your energy away. And they can have both giving you and taking your energy. And you just put them down in the circle, and then you would just put an arrow. And if they're taking your energy, you put the arrow towards them, facing like the little circle. But if the thing is giving you energy, then you face the arrow towards yourself.
Okay. And if it's both, I do like an arrow.
Yeah,
going
for
both
both
ways.
of them. Yeah. Is that clear?
Yeah. I just have a pen.
Here.
Thank you. So, okay, so out is I give my energy towards that thing.
Yeah, so
I
it's
give
like
myself-
taking your energy. So maybe your
Like,
relationship.
okay, what about like family?
Yeah.
And friends. Okay, if it's my
You
sister.
can put those in two different circles if you want, even.
Okay.
Maybe your family's more draining of energy than they are giving.
Okay, my sister, I'll put like both. Is that right?
Yeah.
Because like I'm still like trying to like get to know her, and then
Because-
she's giving me like hope.
Yeah. It gives you a little support, especially when you were being kicked out by your father.
Okay. LGBT friends. They give to me, but I also give to them. Mom and dad. If they were like negative in my life.
So they would be taking energy from you.
So would that be going in?
that be going out to the circle? Because
'Cause
they're
I'd be giving my-
yeah.
What about like stuff that I like doing, like for fun? That's giving energy.
Yeah, you can put
Okay.
those down too.
And if I don't work,
Yeah, that can be a stress causing, which would be taking energy from you, right?
sexual orientation. If I'm like bisexual,
If that's what you identify with,
yeah.
and if that gives you hope and happiness, or if that gives you any struggles in life.
Okay, so
This
put
is
my
how you-
energy,
Yeah,
but-
the experiences you have with those.
Shelter would be because I'm like giving energy towards that, but it's also doing something for me.
Yeah, it's helping you
Okay.
stay in a home.
I'll just look at this to make sure I did all my arrows right and stuff.
Thank you for doing that. So education is
Do stuff for
giving
me,
you.
right? Or would it be the other way?
So you were kicked out at the age of 14.
Yeah.
Were you able to continue with your getting your diploma in high school?
No, I didn't
And
continue after that.
okay, so would that be something that would maybe cause you stress? Because maybe you're unable to find a job because you weren't able to finish your high school because you were homeless at the time, right?
Mhm.
So would you think that maybe we should change that arrow to be giving you, taking your energy away?
Yeah.
And your parents are taking your energy away
Mhm.
because they are absent in your life and were a negative influence on you.
Mhm.
And then unemployment is something that gives you energy.
No. It's my first time doing this. I don't know.
No, it's okay. We all make mistakes when we do this. It's a little
These
confusing.
ones are right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your sister gives you energy, and you give her a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And the
Of
stuff I
yours.
like doing,
And
I'll
your
give
friends
them.
are helpful to you, and you help them out, right?
Yeah. Oh wait, no. Fishing would be. I'll do it. I'll put my energy towards it, but it also gives me.
Yeah. Gives you
And then
back
my
some.
community center.
And the shelter gives you and takes some.
Mm-hmm.
And then the charges. That's something
That
that
takes
takes
away.
your energy. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
So, during the process of doing the Ecom app, did you maybe
Yeah, like it gave
figure
me a
out
chance to
anything new?
figure out like what I'm actually giving my energy
Yeah.
to, and like what's kind of taking me away.
Did it help you maybe realize some of the negative aspects of your life and see if there's anything you might want to change, or maybe try to fix your relationship with your mother? And see
Yeah,
if that's something
it
you
was
can work
definitely
on
like
a little
an-
bit.
Like an eye-opening
Mm-hmm.
activity.
Well, that's great. I'm gonna keep this just so we can maybe go back to later in the week and just see how you've been
How it's
progressing.
changed and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
and see if there's any changes. I also have this other activity if you're willing to do it. It's called critical events timeline, and for this one, it's a table that reflects important events that happen in your life. So maybe like a birthday, a vacation you went on, anything that was very important or that you remember. And
It could be negative or positive.
yeah, it can be negative or positive. It
Okay, so
depends.
it's like, do I have to put those in like different
It goes
like
so
categories, or
you can start from like the age, like the birth, basically, like whatever age you remember, the youngest age till right now. So you can that will be your current age.
if there's
and
something
then-
that happened like through like 3 years or something, or like a long period of my life, do I still put that too?
Yeah,
And I just put like how old I was.
yeah, and you just write down what that event was, and you put your age next to it. So just any important thing that happened in your life that you experienced and that still you remember, and it gives you any types of feeling. Like it can be negative, it can be depressing, it can
Just
be
like
sad,
important
it can be
things that like
happy.
made me who I am.
Yeah.
Okay, for like when my father died, if I wasn't like there when it happened, it's still something like it kind of affected me
Of course.
in a way, even though I wasn't there.
Yeah, but he was a big part of your life, and he had influence on you. So if that's something that impacts you, then definitely you should put it down if you want.
Okay. And I just put my life now too. Like if important things happen now or in the past few years.
Yeah, of course. Anything that influenced you. So maybe becoming a part of the LGBT community could be something.
Okay.
Maybe the start of your addiction could be another one. And if you could just write down the age of those events happening in your life.
Okay. If I don't know roughly, that's okay.
Yeah, of course. It's just for us to know the timeline of the events. So, when you were doing this, did it help you maybe notice the pattern in your life and how the events maybe impacted you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, would you say the LGBT community helped you more than hindered you? Or would you say that they were even?
Yeah, because they were like a support system for me, and like I never had that. So like ever since I started going with them, staying with them and stuff, so like I put like how I'm friends with them and how I have like some
they let you
somewhere
stay.
to go.
Yeah. And then the unemployment and homelessness. That's something that maybe you're struggling with. And I know
It's
that.
been like ever since I moved out to like now.
Yeah, and last time we talked about an agency that would help you with getting an employment. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least confident and 10 being the most confident, how confident do you feel about yourself getting a job with that agency?
Yeah, like we were talking last time, like it felt really like promising, or it sounded very promising. And when I went to go talk to them, it felt like they really wanted to help out. You know what I mean? And like they really cared about you. So I'd say like an 8 or a 9 maybe.
Yeah, that's great. So is there any reason we're doing 9 and 8 and not a 10?
Because I didn't get the job yet.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to like make sure. 100%.
But you only went there once, I think, right?
Yeah, I went there yesterday.
So there's a lot more room to progress and maybe getting stronger. So do you think we can get to a 10 maybe in our second meeting with them? And hopefully, because I'm pretty sure your credentials are pretty promising for you to get a good job easily.
Yeah, it won't bother looking in the interview, so.
So it was great having. Never mind. So about your addiction, I just want to go over this this strategy called the 6 stages of addiction, and so it started with the pre-contemplation. Then it goes to contemplation, determination, action, maintenance, and relapse. And at the moment, I know we're not really focusing on your addiction as much as we're focusing on your employment. And I was wondering if you would be interested in going to an agency that would help you out with your addiction, maybe help you with controlling it better, and hopefully slowly stopping and reducing the amount of times you use.
Yeah, like we could try it. I know that like now it is something that I'm still doing, and it's still like a big part of my life doing it. But yeah, maybe we can talk about it.
And do you think your addiction is something that's very serious that needs to get fixed urgently, or something that just you know it happens, but you don't think it's as important to get fixed?
I mean, I know it's not right to be doing that. I personally, like, it's how I live. So it is going to be, like, a big change. But yeah, I could see myself, like, down the road being, like, completely.
So you would be in the contemplation stage, which means that you accept that you have an addiction and you're willing to change what you have. And our next step would be the determination, which would be maybe getting you to really focus on ways that we can prevent you from using as much as you do at the moment. And then after that, which is the action, which would be getting you a plan of a way to reduce your addiction and help you succeed better. And the plan would be measurable and reachable and doable. And then maintenance and just keeping up with the plan that we need for you and following it. And the last one would be, and then I just want to let you know that about 94% of addicts, when they start the 6 stages of addiction, they do relapse. So relapse is actually the last stage, and it's something that happens often. So it's not something that you should be overly upset with or too mad at yourself, because it's something that happens often. But you can definitely go back and restart the stages, and hopefully maybe next time it will take a little longer for you to relapse and so on. So it's completely done.
Okay. Well, I'm already like at the second one, so like I feel
that's
like
great.
if I want to continue it, like I'll be able to. like slowly but surely.
So I'll give you the name of the agency and their information,
Okay.
and then you can do a little research if you want and see what they're like, and if you're interested in going to that one. And if that's not one that you're really into, I can look into finding you another one. We need to find the one that you would be the most interested in, because that's where you would be able to get the most help. So you don't want to just put in any agency, you want to put in the right one. Okay. So here's the paper information about the agency I was talking about.
Okay, so it's like right near home.
Yeah. So thank you for coming. It was great talking to you again. I'll see you next week.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just like look over this and stuff.
Yeah. Bye.
Mm.